Okay, so here we have the second layer. Now, the second layer is where the rich and the poor meet. They mix because it is where most industry is happening, and that is purely because the rich are exploiting the poor. Now, it is also an area where, like, it's got most of the passageways leading to other areas. There's not actually too much on it. It's just kind of like the central hub. So here we have the lower class housing. It's the second entrance into here. But yeah. So if we want to have a quick look into the buildings around the second story. Okay, so this here is the supermarket. So starters off, we've got the rules. No refunds. Over here, we've got a book of Swift Sneak so that you can get into your house a bit faster. For 2 emeralds. That is, in fact, what you get paid daily. So it is quite expensive considering you also need to account for food and then potential education for your children. A book of soul speed is what allows the soul sand highways to actually become fast. So this is very important, and most people have this, but they have to spend all of their savings on it. So it just keeps people down in the dumps, really, the fact that it's priced so high, but it's in that much demand that there's not much you can do. Over here we have a bottle of Coca-Cola, just for 2 iron. This is what most children get. And bottle of Prime, same price, but you can get 2 instead of 4. 8 sweet berries. So this is what, basically a lot like sweets, but this is as much as a child gets. Oh yeah, the supermarket supervisor, not here. Do not ring the bell, because he hates it and he will kick you out. Potatoes. We here got coal, an employee, lunchly, and then a few plots where we can add some more when we need to. And outside's where you can see it all. Basically, we've got all of the vending machines, basically. So yeah, it took a while, but you know, this is all custom redstone, which is why it's not very good. I haven't looked up a single redstone tutorial in a while, which is probably bad, but oh well. At least it works. That's all I can say. Anyway, thank you. And over here we have the teleport to bank. So obviously, if you can't afford anything, don't worry. But it will cost you 1 iron to get over there. So yeah. Okay, so over here we have the public hospital. So it's not very nice. You've got next to no privacy. There's one matron who comes around every 6 hours. Doesn't deliver food. You've got to get your family members to do that. And you've got a tiny little, almost like cubicle stall. And that's about it. It costs 10 emeralds per day that you're in here. So let's hope you've got a few emeralds saved up, which you probably don't. But then City doesn't care about you enough to try and save you. Over here we have the medicine cabinet. It is quite full. After millions of years of diseases, there gets to be quite a lot of them. So that's why there's a lot. Now, there's not much to the public hospital because it is rather small, but that's because the government has to help fund it and they don't really want to. You're lucky if you get a bed in here. Most of the time they're all full, and all full, not awful, but they're probably also awful. So yeah. That's the public hospital. So over here we have the medium class housing estate. And there's not much to it really, but I thought I should mention it. You get quite a nice living space, especially in comparison to the LIA. Now, here to rent, it's gonna cost you 30 emeralds a week, so you're gonna have to have a good wage. Probably not a company on the middle class. You probably got some sort of high-ranking company official or something along those lines. You might be in the middle layer, but chances are you're in the top layer. So obviously you've got your own cooker, you've got double beds, you've actually got your own private table and seats, and you've actually got a barrel each for you and your partner. And that's more or less all it is down here. And yeah, one major thing as well is you actually have privacy and peace and quiet, which in a city as huge as this is quite rare to come across, really. Now, I'll just show you how big it is. It is quite considerable size, but yeah, that's the medium class housing estate. Okay, so this here is Coal & Co. This is one of the biggest industries of the entire world because it provides over 50% of the world's electricity and power. It's what runs all of the lights. It's what provides fuel for most of the vehicle, most of the engines. And the owner sure does know about it. He is trying to capitalize on the fact that people need coal. And that has led him to striking up some pretty unfair deals with other companies, which has given him a very bad reputation. However, he pays his workers minimum wage, but most of these are ex-convicts. They have no other option. He's very clever, and he's very, put it simply, he is a very nasty person. He's got a clock here to make sure that people must arrive on time, and he's not paying them any extra for overtime. Here we've got the pay 2 emeralds for an entire day's work. Just not cutting it. But that's what all of these people, this is their livelihood. But the problem is, it's going downhill. The mine is almost gone. But truth be told, he doesn't really care that much that his precious mine is going. He only cares about the power he's going to lose. So what he's doing is he's investing in Oil & Co now, just to try and stay relevant.
Here is the Great Hall, the most lavish part of all of Dystopia Monrealis' second floors. Here you can see there's 2 vending machines. A steak vending machine, where you can pay to get some steaks given to you at any time, mainly used by the poor. And there's a fine of 100 emeralds if you try to break into it. Here you can see the massive rows where the poor people will eat, and the grand chairs where the rich will enjoy their meal. You can also see the second vending machine, which gives you bread, which is very similar to the steak one in terms of punishments if you try to steal. You can see some elaborate patterns on the ceilings, as well as the great table where the 3 most important people eating there at the time will sit. Most likely the president, if he can be bothered to come down here, the mayor, and other people like that. The clock is there to help them tell the time, and that is the Great Hall. We then have the military checkpoint known as Checkpoint Alpha, a heavily guarded area of Dystopia Monrealis that is incredibly dangerous. Here you can see columns of armed guards and a destroyed Sorsan Valley, leading to where the gangs reside, deep within the passageway. This Source Valley was once used as a transport to an unknown sector. However, now it has been overrun by the gangs and is being guarded by these people. Do not come here unless you wish to die. It is right next to the Coal & Co and elaborate Great Halls, showing that it hasn't been here forever. Here you can see the construction walls after a group of rebels destroyed the President's meeting room that was previously on the second floor. This is where it will be rebuilt later on. Outside of the law, it is because the world's file was disrupted and this is simply a backup that we're using to continue the world on from where we left off.